Welcome back with Murphy Mac. We got another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast for y'all today. Apologize for the sound quality again. My mic is still out. I don't know what's wrong with it, so we rocking with the webcam today. But we ain't gonna let that hold us back. We're gonna get in here and drop some value for y'all. So hope y'all enjoy it. Hope you take something from it, apply it into your own fitness journey. We got a fun one for y'all today. I actually enjoy this one a lot. Today, what we're going to talk about is fitness slang terms. This is especially good for new, what we call newbies to learn. If you're working out in the gym, you're going to hear a lot of these terms and you may not know what they are. So it's good to understand them and know what they are before you go in the gym and not know what you're talking about. Or somebody tell you or ask you something and you don't know what they're talking about. This is going to be a little fun one. For the first one, we're going to start off, I just mentioned it, the term newbie. What is a newbie? Well, a newbie is somebody that is new to the gym, somebody that is not familiar with the gym, or somebody that is restarting over, like they used to work out in the past, but now they're starting again, so they're kind of fresh. So newbie, that's what that is. And that they also refer to something called newbie gains. Newbie gains is when somebody new starts working out and they see really, really good results very fast because they wasn't doing anything before, but now they are, so they're seeing very good results. So that's what you call newbie gains. Those will come to a plateau really quick. Like you will not have newbie gains forever. So enjoy them while you got them because they don't last very long. But you gotta take advantage of them while you can. So newbie gains are always a good thing, and it kind of gets you motivated and gets you kind of excited about working out because you see gains pretty quick. Like number 2, PB, just the letters PB. This means personal best or personal. There's another one called PR, personal record is what that means. So it don't necessarily mean that it's the most weight you've ever lifted. We would call that a max, like the most weight you've ever lifted is a max, but a PB would be personal best. So yeah, it could mean that's the most weight you've ever lifted, but it also could mean something like, oh, that's the most reps you've ever done of that amount of weight, or that's the quickest you've ever done that type of workout or that mile or whatever. So it don't necessarily have to be weight related. It can be time related, reps related, just whatever. So that's PB. Number 3, reps. Reps is short for repetitions. So a rep is the number of times that you perform a certain lift in a given set. So say for example, I'm doing bench press, I'm going to do 10 reps. That means I'm going to push the weight away from me and bring it back to me 10 times. That's a rep. Number 4, sets. So sets are like a cycle. You will perform a basic workout is 3 sets of 10. So 3 sets of 10 reps. So you would do 10 reps 3 separate times, and those would be considered a set. Reps and sets, they go hand in hand. Number 5, rest. And this one's pretty self-explanatory. Rest is just the time that you stop working out in between each set. So when you don't actually like take a nap. You're not going to take a nap in the gym. This is just a break. You're taking a break in between each set. That's what we would call rest. Number 6, warm up. Again, this one's kind of self-explanatory. This is what you're going to do before your workout. You're going to do a warm up to get your body warm. You want to loosen up your muscles a little bit, stretch, maybe do a little cardio, get your heart rate up, get your blood flowing, get it pumping through your body, get a little sweat going. This is what we consider a warm up. Number 7, a max. So a max, I kind of mentioned earlier, is when you're doing the most amount of weight on a certain lift that you've ever done. And normally when you do a max, you refer to a 1 rep max. So you would do it 1 time. So this would be, you go in and do the most amount of weight you could absolutely do for 1 rep on any given lift. So that's a max. 8, HIIT. HIIT is spelled with 2 T's, so it actually stands for high intensity interval training. So what this is you do very high intensities for a short amount of time on a certain, like whatever exercise you're doing, and then you'll do a pretty low intensity right after. That way you can kind of recover. But then as soon as that low intensity exercise is over, you'll right back into the high intensity. So you kind of alternate. So like, for example, you would do a 1 minute sprint on a bike, and then right after that 1 minute sprint, you would do like 1 to 2 minutes at a normal pace. So you can kind of catch your breath, you can get your energy back while you're doing a little less, and then you'll go right back into the high intensity. So you kind of alternate back and forth for anywhere from like 15 to 30 minutes. That's normally like a good HIIT workout. So that's HIIT, spelled with 2 T's, HIIT. Number 9, cardio. Most people know this one. This one's pretty generic. Cardio is so like anything that's working like on your heart, if that makes sense. Running, biking, swimming. There's a lot of things. Rowing, jump roping. There's all kinds of different forms of cardio. Just walking. This is cardio. So yeah, most people know what cardio is. I don't think I really have to explain that one. Number 10, machines. So a machine is machines in gyms that help you perform certain exercises. So basically what the machine does is it limits your range of motion so you can perform a lift in a certain way. So that way you don't injure yourself, but 2, you know how to do it. Like you know how to do the lift because the machine only moves in one direction. Like you can only push it or pull it or move like the lever on the machine. You can only do it one way. So this way you know you're doing the exercise right, and it's a lot less room for injury because it's a fixed range of motion. Like you can only go through one range of motion. You can't like go outside of that, so you're less likely to get injured. So that's why machines are very good for beginners, because when beginners normally don't have the technique or the form to do the lifts right, so machines are good to begin with. I mean, I still use machines today, and I've been working out for years. So almost every gym has machines. Only gyms you won't find machines in is like a CrossFit gym. They don't really have machines. Maybe like a yoga studio, they wouldn't really have machines, I don't think. So yeah, most like fitness gyms have machines though. Number 11, barbell. So a barbell it's like the long steel bars that you see that people put the plates on, like the weight plates. You put them on the end, and this is how you get your weight. This is how you create heavier weight for you to get stronger and train with. So it's kind of hard to like explain unless you know what it is or you've seen one. You probably know what it is. You may just not know the technical name for it. It's called a barbell. So yeah, it's like the long steel rod that you add weights on at the end. Number 12 is a dumbbell. I really don't know where the terminology came from for dumbbell, but dumbbell it's a hand size bar with weights on the end of it, and they make different different sizes of them. So you can start all the way down for like a 2-pound dumbbell all the way up to like 200-pound dumbbells. At the gym, they normally have these stacked like on shelves, and they'll have them in like a row, and they'll have them from like 5 pounds and then go up 5-pound increments all the way up. So it's most of the time you use dumbbells, you use them in sets of 2. It's because you'll have one in your left hand, one in your right hand. So it's basically like a mini version of a barbell is what it is. Number 13, easy bar. This is spelled the letter E, the letter Z, and then bar, easy bar. So this is like a hybrid between a dumbbell and a barbell. If you was to put them two together, that's what an easy bar would be. And the reason it's called an easy bar is because it's not actually straight across. It actually has like little handles on it. The bar is like bent at an angle. So like if you're watching this on the audio only replay, you won't be able to see what I'm doing. But the bar is turned at an angle so you can grip it better with your hand. Like it's at a more neutral position, and it feels more natural for your hands to grip it than a straight like regular barbell. So that's an easy bar. They're normally a little bit shorter than a barbell is, but they're longer than a dumbbell. So think if you was to mix them together, that's what it would be. 14, free weights. So a free weight is basically anything that is not like a fixed weight. It's not at a machine. It don't move along one lever. So a free weight is like a dumbbell, it's a barbell, it's a plate, like a weight plate. So these are all free weights because you can move them freely. Like you can literally pick it up and move it wherever you want it. You can't pick up a machine or push a machine like wherever you want it. Free weights, you can take them anywhere. So most time if you have like a home gym, you'll have free weights. That's what you'll have. So yeah, dumbbells, barbells, plates. It's basically all the free weights. Number 15, a bench. When people say bench, they're not referring to like an actual bench that you sit on. When people say bench, this is a chest exercise that is like the most popular chest exercise. On Monday is known as National Chest Day, so everybody will be doing bench press come Monday. So you actually do lay down on a physical bench, like you do lay down on a bench. You'll be laying flat, like 90 degrees to the floor. Actually, no, you'll be laying parallel to the floor, and you will get a barbell and you will literally push it away from your body and bring it back to your chest. So most people know what a bench press is. It's like probably the most popular exercise that you can do in fitness. 16, plates. When people are saying plates, they're not referring to plates that you eat off of. When they say plates, this is the actual weight that you stack onto the end of a barbell. So the round plates, the universal size is like a 45-pound plate if you're in America. If you're in a different country, I believe it's 20 kilograms. I think it's equivalent to 45. I may be wrong on that, so don't take my word for that, but it's something like that. I think it's 20 kilograms and 45 pounds. But yeah, they actually make weight plates in several different weights. They have 2.5s, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 25 pound, 35 pound, and 45 pound. But your 45-pound plate is going to be your most common. Number 17, incline. When people say incline, they're normally referring to an incline bench press. So what we said earlier with the bench, instead of having a flat bench, instead of being parallel to the ground, you're going to be at an incline. So you're going to be sitting up. It's almost like you're sitting in a recliner almost. So you're going to be leaning back at an angle, and instead of pushing the weight directly 90 degrees from your body, you're going to be pressing it up probably at around 45 degrees. But you're still going to press it straight in the air. So that is like an incline. It's an incline bench press. Number 18, this is the opposite of incline. This would be a decline. So when people refer to decline, instead of the bench being up at a 45-degree angle, it's going to be down at a lower, like you're going to be past parallel. So you're going to be even closer to the ground. So this is going to work your chest, like the bottom area of your chest. And then the incline is going to do the top area of your chest. Those are all just different variations of the regular bench press. Number 19, a plank. So a plank is an ab exercise. It's where you'll get down on your forearms. You'll put all your weight in your forearms and then stand up on your toes. You'll be laying parallel to the floor. This is called a plank. I guess they get that term because your body looks like a wooden plank or something. I really don't know. I guess because you're flat. But yeah, you're going to hold yourself up on your forearms and your tippy toes. And that's a plank. And you want to keep your body as flat as possible. You don't want your butt sticking up in the air or like your hips touching the ground. You want to stay flat. It's going to work your core. Number 20, clamps. So clamps are like little circular things that have they're circular and they have a lever on them. But what they do is they go on the end of the barbell, on the barbell sleeves, and they clamp down to hold the weight on. Because if you're doing certain exercises, the weight plates may fall off the end of the barbell. So you put a clamp on the end of it to hold it on. So that's a clamp. Pretty self-explanatory. 21, cables. So cables, they're hard to explain. It's a pulley system that you use on like a machine in the gym, and you can do basically anything with a cable. It's instead of having like a free weight, like a weight plate to do your weight with, you hook a cable up to it, and the cables have weights on the end of them, and you can move the weights along the fixed pulley. So you can pull the cable in any direction, but it will still have weight on the other end of it. And you can, a lot of times, the cable machines will have a lot of different weights on the weight stack, so that way you can adjust the weight to whatever weight you need to perform whatever lift you're doing. So yeah, it's literally a cable that you pull with weight on the end of it, and you pull it along a pulley system. But yeah, you can do all kinds of exercises with cables. Number 22, pump. This is probably one that you probably don't know if you're not really into fitness. Pump. This is what happens when you start working out. Your muscles get full of blood. Like when you're working out, you pump blood into your muscles, and it'll make your muscles appear bigger. So like you literally will look bigger, and this is why they call it a pump, because they're saying like you getting pumped up, like you get bigger. This is what a lot of people strive for when they're working out, because I guess it makes them feel good about themselves. They feel bigger, they feel stronger. That's a pump. Your muscles actually kind of get like full and tight, like they'll expand out, and you'll physically look bigger just by getting a pump in your workout. Number 23, supersets. So this is what you do. You'll do 2 different workouts or 2 different exercises back to back with no rest. So you can do the same muscle group back to back, or you can also do like alternating muscle, like opposite muscle groups. So when I'm doing a workout, I'm doing a chest day. If I'm gonna do a superset, I'll do chest, like I'll do, like, say, a bench press, for example, and then as soon as I'm done with the bench press, I'll jump into a tricep extension or like an overhead tricep extension. So that way I'm doing chest and I'm doing triceps and I'm doing them back to back with no rest. So that's a superset. 24, form. So form means like your technique. This is your form. You need proper technique, you need proper form to do the lifts correctly. Like there's a certain way you should do each lift, and this is like what you would consider form. You need to do it that way. You need to have correct form when doing it, because if not, you can get hurt or you're not going to get any benefit from that exercise if you don't have the proper form. 25, spot. So spot means like assisting somebody with a lift. For example, just the easiest one to do is bench press. When somebody's lifting a lot of weight on bench press, if they can't necessarily do the weight themselves, they'll get somebody to spot them. So they'll have somebody behind them kind of helping them lift the bar up if they need it. Like if they get stuck, they have somebody there to spot them. So they're assisting them doing the lift. So that way they can still get all their reps in, basically. That's what spot means. 26, gains. Gains means progress, basically. That's all it means, progress. So if you're getting gains or you're seeing gains, that means you're making progress. You're seeing results. It means results. You're building muscle or you're losing weight, whatever your goals are, this means you're getting gains. That's what that means. It's like, I don't know where that terminology came from, but yeah. You can kind of use gains in several different ways. But yeah, basically means you're seeing results or you're seeing progress. You're getting your work in, whatever. That's what it means. 27, cutting. Cutting means you are basically dieting. You're trying to lose weight. You're trying to cut weight. You're trying to drop body fat. So that's what cutting is. So normally bodybuilders refer to cutting instead of referring to themselves as dieting. They just say I'm cutting because they're trying to lose as much body fat as possible so they look the best on stage. 28, the opposite of cutting is bulking. So bulking means they're trying to gain weight. They're trying to put on muscle. They're trying to put on size, trying to get bigger. This means they're trying to grow strength. So basically the opposite of cutting. You're opposite of losing weight. You're bulking up. You're trying to get bigger, stronger, faster. So that's bulking. 29, negatives. So a negative is like the opposite part of your rep. So this one's kind of hard to explain, but a negative is like, so like for a bench press, when you push the bar away from your body, that would be the positive. The negative is when you lower the weight back down to your body. That's going to be the negative part of the rep. Or like, for example, a bicep curl. A curl would be when you take the weight, when your arm's extended and you curl it all the way up towards your chest. That would be the positive, and then the negative would be when you're lowering it back down to your waist. That would be the negative. So every rep has a positive and a negative. So the positive is where you're actually performing the lift, and then the negative is where you're letting the weight go back to its original position. So that's like the negative. 30, pre-workout. No, we're not actually talking about what you do before your workout. We're not talking about like your pre-workout. When people refer to pre-workout, they're referring to the supplement pre-workout. So what pre-workout is it's got all kinds of stuff in it, but mainly it's just caffeine that gets you pumped up, gets you excited, and it gets you energized and ready to do your workout. So that's what people refer to when they say pre-workout. The actual thing that people are talking about when they want to talk about before their workout, they call that their warm-up. So you would do a warm-up before your workout. You wouldn't do a pre-workout. Pre-workout is strictly like a supplement. 31, ROM. So ROM stands for range of motion, or a full range of motion. So basically this is however your muscle is meant to move. Like the maximum it can move in one direction and the maximum it can move in the other direction. That's a range of motion. So like when you do a squat, at the very top of your rep, you're standing straight up. And at the very bottom of your rep, you can't go down no more. Like your butt is literally touching your ankles. So that's a full range of motion because you can't go any further down and you can't go any further up. So that's a full range of motion. Or if I'm doing a bicep curl, when my arm's fully extended down beside my body, when the weight's down by my waist, and then when I curl it all the way up to my, literally to my arm can't go up anymore, to like towards my chest, and then I lower it all the way back down, that's a range of motion. You want to get the full range of motion. You don't want to do like a half rep. All right, next, chalk. This is pretty self-explanatory. It's literally chalk. People use chalk in the gym for grip. It helps with your grip strength a lot. It kind of like dries out your hands, so they're not like slippery or anything. It gives you good grip on the bar. A lot of power lifters will use chalk, or maybe like even CrossFitters, I think they use chalk. I don't really use chalk. I never really use it because the type of workouts I do, I don't really need it. But yeah, heavy lifters, if you're doing a lot of weight, a lot of times they'll use chalk because it helps them with their grip strength. It's literally like chalk. Like, it's like what they use in gymnastics. Same stuff. 33, failure. So when people refer to going to failure in the gym, they refer to literally going and doing a workout until they can't do it no more. So you want to do it until your body physically cannot move the weight anymore. So for example, if you're doing a bench press, this is why you would have a spotter. Like if you want to work out to failure, you'll do it until you can't even push the weight up in the air no more. And then that's when your spotter will come in and take over. So yeah, literally working your muscle until it fails. That's what they mean by failure, going to failure. 34, isolation exercise. So isolation exercise means you're isolating one muscle. So any exercise or workout that only focuses on one muscle. So a bicep curl focuses on your bicep. Like a tricep extension is your tricep. Calf extension, that's just your calf. So that is a isolation exercise. It only focuses on one muscle group. Number 35, compound exercise. So this, instead of focusing on one muscle group, this focuses on multiple muscle groups. So compound exercises are normally like your hardest lifts to do because they require the most energy. They require the most strength. So an example of compound exercises are the bench press, the squat, the deadlift. These lifts are going to incorporate multiple muscle groups in your body. So that's why they call them compound exercises. Number 36, plateau. So plateau is after you get done with your newbie gains that you just got because you just started, you're going to hit a plateau, which means you're going to stop getting those gains. You're not going to be able to do the same thing that you were doing before and still see the results. You're going to have to change it up. You're going to have to do something different to put more stress and put more overload on your muscles. Because if not, you're going to hit a plateau and you're going to stop. So you got to do something more. You got to do something extra. So that's a plateau. Number 37, work in. So this is kind of like a phrase, work in. Like for example, somebody would say, hey, do you mind if I work in? Or do you mind if I work in with you on this next set? What they mean is, can they do the workout with you when you get done doing it? So y'all swap like back and forth. So you'll do the exercise, and depending on what it is, he may spot you, or if you don't need a spot, he'll just be waiting on you. And then y'all swap. So then y'all swap. He'll do the exercise, and you'll spot him. So basically, it means y'all are just working out together for that set. That's all it means. It means work in. Number 38, ripped. Ripped means somebody that's very low body fat. Somebody normally that you can see their abs. This basically means they're ripped. They're pretty skinny. They have a good physique, like very low body fat. This means that's ripped. 39, swole. So this is kind of like, well, it's not the opposite, but this is kind of the opposite of ripped. So instead of being super shredded, like super your abs and very muscular, very veiny, this is kind of the opposite. This swole means like you're big, you're jacked, like you got huge muscles, you're strong, you're a big old dude, you're wide, like you got a very broad shoulders, you got big old legs, like you're like a tree trunk. This is swole, like you're a big old dude. So that's what swole means. Number 40, load or rack. We'll do those two different ones. So load is like how much weight you're doing. That's the load. How much weight you're doing. That's kind of like the load. Or you could also say load as in you're loading the bar. So what this means is you're taking the weights and you're putting it onto the bar. Like you're increasing the amount of weight that's on the bar. That's what they mean by loading the bar. You want to load the bar with weight. And then a rack is, it's a metal like structure that you do your workouts in, like where you're actually going to perform the lift. It's what holds up the bar when you're not using it. You're going to put the bar in the rack when you get done using it. So if you're doing squats, you'll literally get up under the bar and stand up, and then you'll put it back into the rack where you got it from. That's what holds up the weight when it holds the weight up basically. It's where you do your lifts. That's a rack. 41, calisthenics. So calisthenics in a nutshell is body weight exercises. It's basically what it is. It's a form of like bodybuilding without using traditional weights. So like pull-ups, crunches, air squats, push-ups, anything that you can do with no equipment is basically calisthenics. Number 42, macros. So macros is short for the term macronutrients. So in your body you have 3 major macronutrients, and that is protein, carbohydrates, and fats. I'm not going to dive into each one of those. Most people know what protein, carbs, and fats are. But yeah, that's what macros is, just short for macronutrients. And that's about it. That's all I can think of right now. I know there's a lot more. I mean, there's tons of fitness slang terms that we have nowadays, but I'll probably do another episode on these and think of some different ones later. But that's what I got from now. That'll get you started for sure in the gym. You'll definitely, if you memorize these, you'll definitely be able to communicate with people in the gym and know what they're talking about and not look like a straight newbie all the time. So yeah, those are just a few of the fitness slang terms I could think of off the top of my head. They're good to know, especially if you're working out with somebody else or you're like talking to someone in the gym, because they're probably going to use these terms. So it's good to know what they mean by them. Don't feel bad if you don't know these terms. Honestly, everybody you got to learn them eventually. So not everybody knows what they mean. So that's why I got on here to explain them to y'all. It made sense when I try to explain them. Some of them you kind of just got to learn on your own. You got to get in there and actually see like what they're talking about, because it's hard for me to explain over a video or audio. Those are just a few, the ones I thought of, or my favorite ones off the top of my head. If you have any other ones I didn't think of, like drop them in the comment. Let me know. We'll share them out to everybody. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Hope you had the best day. Hope y'all have a good weekend, and we'll see y'all in the next episode. Peace, love, protein. We out.